What's up, guys? This will be a shorter video, but I have a couple things to talk about. First off, IBIT, BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETF, did finally overtake GBTC, and it took a little longer than expected. This is because recently we saw GBTC posting inflows. So I guess the reason it took longer is for a good reason. So we'll see, over the coming weeks if the market takes this as a positive, if this news overshadows the Mt. Gox news. But to me, this is a big positive, It signifies that the large fund that was known for selling is now being passed up by the larger fund now that's known for buying. This sort of marks a huge shift for Bitcoin, but we're going to cover that in an article. We're also going to talk about this Bitcoin strategy that these companies are utilizing. It's something we definitely have to keep an eye on, and I'll show you why. And of course, we got to start off with Bitcoin's chart. Right now, it looks like we're breaking this pattern here. We'll see if the market actually reacts to it through the rest of the day. But right now, it looks like we're trying to hold up this level as a support. It was a previous resistance at times, and you do see a big reaction when we broke it to the upside. So if we can't maintain this roughly $67,000 area, we might break this and head down to test the 50 MA right around 65,000. If we do come down and head towards the 50 MA right around 65,000, I would be watching for this ascending support, which we have utilized since the beginning of this year. We have bounced off of it multiple times. We did have a false breakout here, but a candle that didn't close out of it. If we broke this, we'd probably next be testing our other recent lows like the 61,000 and the 56, 57 here. But this would be the next very important level to watch if we do break that yellow support I showed you earlier, that $67,000 area support. And like I said earlier, BlackRock's IBIT finally surpassed GBTC. This is something we've been watching for about a month or more now. And honestly, I expected this to happen a lot sooner. However, over the last couple of weeks, we started seeing GBTC posting inflows. So honestly, I'll take the delay for something like that. But as of May 28, IBIT now holds over 20 billion in assets, nearly 300,000 Bitcoin, 288,000 Bitcoin now. This surpasses GBTC's now 19.7 billion and 287,000 Bitcoin. And here's a great graph that kind of shows it, how they finally caught up and how they finally flipped. And you got to think about, this recent news regarding Mt. Gox, this couple $1 billion of potential selling pressure. Obviously some of these old creditors will hold their Bitcoin, but I do believe a lot will sell, a lot more than people expect. It's money that was locked up for such a long time. Why wouldn't they finally take advantage of it is my reasoning. To think that a couple $1 billion is going to just cause huge mass panic when we're seeing $1 billion of inflow from these spot Bitcoin ETFs. Any short-term weakness from Bitcoin regarding this Mt. Gox news, the way I see it is as a buying opportunity. And when we look back years from now, that's what we'll see it as. When it's an asset that you have high conviction in, when it's something that you believe wholeheartedly in, you take advantage of any fear, of any pullback. But I'll leave the rest of this article down below for you guys. There's really not much more to it. I also want to talk about something very interesting, and it's a theme that we need to watch. These companies announcing that they're going to get into Bitcoin, utilizing Bitcoin in their treasury. Well, we have a company, Similar Scientific. Their stock has rallied because they announced that they were getting into Bitcoin. And Similar Scientific's chairman, Eric Simler, says our Bitcoin treasury strategy and purchase of Bitcoin underscores our belief that Bitcoin is a reliable store of value and a compelling investment. Bitcoin is now a major asset class with more than $1 trillion of market value. We believe it has unique characteristics as a scarce and finite asset that can serve as a reasonable inflation hedge and safe haven amid global instability. We also believe its digital, architectural resilience makes it preferable to gold, which has a market value of approximately 10 times that of Bitcoin. Given the gap in value between gold and Bitcoin, we believe that Bitcoin has the potential to generate outsized returns as it gains increasing acceptance as digital gold. You heard it here first. This guy is comparing Bitcoin to gold, not me. This guy is. A lot of people liken it to gold, a lot of people liken it to digital real estate, a lot of people liken it to currency. I think it's a little bit of everything. Bitcoin is a lot easier to transact with. Bitcoin is also a lot easier to store. These companies are now comparing Bitcoin to gold. They went there. But before I blab on too long, let's continue. Furthermore, we're energized by the growing global acceptance and institutionalization of Bitcoin, reflected most recently by the SEC January 2024 approval of 11 Bitcoin ETFs. These funds have reported more than 13 billion of net inflows, with investments from nearly 1,000 institutions, including global banks, pensions, endowments, and registered investment advisors. It is estimated that more than 10% of all Bitcoin is now held by institutions. After studying various alternatives, we decided that holding Bitcoin would be the best use of our excess cash. What did that cause for this company's price? Well, it caused a rally in the last 5 days, Specifically, in the last 2 days, it rallied over 34%. This is definitely an ongoing theme you're going to have to keep an eye on. When we hear of companies getting into Bitcoin, we might see a very short-term pop out of them. So keep your eyes and ears open for the news. Look for any other companies talking about acquiring Bitcoin, talking about utilizing Bitcoin as their treasury, talking about utilizing Bitcoin against loans. I do believe we're going to see an ongoing theme here, and these could make for potential great swing trades. But let me know how you're feeling today about Bitcoin, Bitcoin miners. I know I didn't cover them today. Most of them are just following their ascending channel. Supports have not been broken yet for the most part. You know, the way I look at these miners is you have to take advantage of the pullbacks. We are looking at a limited time. Once they really start rallying, I'm no longer going to be a buyer. In the end, the decision is yours to make. Make sure you do your due diligence. Make sure you're careful out there, guys. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you next time.